we qualified on the pole and ended up finishing second. And the second one was at Hickory, and we qualified third for that race. And we were running second or third right at the end, and ended up having the flat right rear tire with like 15 to go. So that took us out of that one. But we ended up taking our car back and started doing everything on our own again. I don't know, middle of last year, and we've really been able to work on just, getting that thing. We obviously don't have the best equipment. So, we have to work on getting the setup good and all the little stuff that you can do without spending a ton of money, So we've been able to kind of finesse that and really work on our program outside of equipment. And when it came down to it, we had a really, really good raceable car. And at the end of the race, we were just able to capitalize on it.
Now, what about your driving style that fits Ace Speedway so well?
For sure.
Yeah. Honestly, Ace isn't necessarily my home track. I run Hickory a lot more than I do Ace. Last year we ran but I'm a legend racer. I ran legends a lot before I ran late models, and that's just one of them places you just have to be so aggressive and just charge the corners hard and just drive it for all it's worth. And for some reason that place has always suited me very well.
Well, I'll tell you, I know you just said that you feel like Hickory's more in your backyard because you're from Statesville, but damn it all, dude, that you had a hometown crowd atmosphere when you got out of that number 15 car at Ace Speedway for last Saturday night.
Oh, heck yeah. It was great. I have a ton of fans from over there, and I've been racing there for 2 years on and off now, so I've been able to develop a good, fan following there, and it's man, it was definitely sweet to be able to win that race. It really meant a lot.
So, Ryan, let's talk real quickly about the McCarty-Berry deal. Do you think the Cars Tour got it right with a one-race suspension for Josh?
Absolutely. In my opinion, I completely disagree with it. But on the same side of things, Cars Tour has always been really strict with their penalties. Back with the Brandon Setzer stuff was going on at Orange County, everything they've ever done, they've always, penalized somebody for something they've done. They've never played favorites. And, I respect that part of it. If they would have let that go with Josh, then who knows how many other things people would try to get away with. So, just by looking at it like that, I think it was fair to do what they did. But at the same time, I felt like it probably would have been good to give both drivers a penalty, not necessarily saying a one-race suspension for both, but something.
Well, I don't think Bobby McCarty got anything. And to be honest with you, I got to give props to the Cars Tour officials because, Dennis, they, especially with everything that we're dealing with in these crazy times with the pandemic and social distancing and everything else, the Cars Tour people, they definitely had them practice social distancing. The crews, the drivers, everybody, they did not let a melee ensue between those guys. I was in race control in the tower, and Jack McNeely quickly got on the radio and said, "You tell the 88, load up. Do not go to that pit. Do not go to their pit." And everybody played nice. That could have become a brawl, Ryan Millington, but they didn't let that happen.
Absolutely, they did do a good job as far as that goes. But overall, it was an exciting night. The fans, everybody that watched it, they loved it. Cannot beat that. It was good short track racing, and that stuff happens sometimes. It's just part of it. And honestly, the other night, a little bit of Bowman Gray broke out in the Cars Tour. It was fun to be a race and just to see it all happen. I loved it.
And Dennis, again, I got to give props to the Cars Tour at Ace Speedway. If there's one protest they want to present to the court, to the Cars Tour, that race, when that happened, they did practice social distancing.
Yeah, and here's what they need to do. Here's what they need to do before this weekend's event. They need to have a big boxing glove for each guy on a 6-foot telescoping rod that they can place in the car. And they get out. They can duke it out right there, on the front stretch while maintaining social distancing. I think there's something there. But one thing that I want to say, Wesley, about the Cars Tour.
Yes.
How many times do we see tours where they have a big name or they have a big name team in the series and something happens
and they get away with
it? They're blind,
Yeah, yep.
The Cars Tour calls the race, and they don't care whether it's the most popular and the biggest team or whether it's the guy just coming in for the night who's the local guy. They don't care. They referee the race, and they call the race fair, And I think that is one of the reasons the Cars Tour is one of the hottest properties right now when it comes to auto racing.
I got to say, I agree with that, Ryan. What do you think, bud?
Oh, I absolutely agree. They're definitely the most biased series in track and everything. You know, there's obviously no favorites when it comes to the Cars Tour, which is it's really nice to know that you go and you're going to get treated fairly, whether you go and run 1-2 races a year, or you go run the whole season. It's been very known that, you know, you're going to go there and you're going to get treated like you're everybody's favorite person, and that's great.
So, Ryan, you're going to go from a packed house at Ace Speedway with your Cars Tour win last Saturday night to this event at Hickory Motor Speedway, and it was announced at 3 o'clock this morning, no fans in the stands. How different is that going to be for you guys?
For us this year, obviously, it's not going to be too different because we've already ran 3 races at Hickory and not had any fans. So the fans at Ace, it's kind of been the odd thing to see, you know, for the last couple months. But, you know, it's going to be good. It's still going to be the same, you know, race. Everybody's going to be watching it on TV instead of sitting in the stands. But it'll still be a really good show like it always is.
Dennis Michelsen, final question for the driver, Ryan Millington, here on Full Throttle.
Oh, Ryan, you just before we go, you got to plug the sponsors and plug the team, man. Give them some love now.
Heck yeah, you know, I can't thank Bob Seville. He's been I'm driving his cars. You know, I've been very lucky to have him and his 2 companies, Leisure Time Rentals and Carolina Specialty Products. They've made it happen for us the last 2 years, and I also can't thank, you know, my dad enough for helping out in the shop, and you know, Dylan Latour, Brandon Henson, Kenneth, and everybody else that's ever, you know, laid a hand on this car and helped us.
So what is your plans for the rest of the year, Ryan?
Yeah, we're going to bounce. I say right now it kind of depends how this weekend goes, but I'd definitely like to hit a few more Cars Tour races at a couple select tracks within our, you know, our little 2-3 hour range. And we're going to run Hickory and Ace for the remainder of the season, the weekly stuff, and try to run a few more big races.
Final question. We're going to let you go here. As being the big winner of the race at Ace Speedway last weekend and what happened today with their temporary restraining order to Jason and Robert Turner, what is your thoughts of those things with the track being shut down now?
Oh, man, I think everybody kind of has the same opinion on that one. You know, it's just they're trying to do what's right. And honestly, right now, there's a lot of other tracks, dirt tracks mainly, that are running with fans. And it's, to me, to everybody else, it seems unfair that one track gets penalized and no one else does. But, you know, it's part of it. What can you do about it? You kind of just got to take what's dealt to you and, you know, live with it.
Pack up and go to the next one. Ryan, known you for many, many years, my friend, in the world of karting. It's such a pleasure to see you climb the ladder of successes you've done, and it was so happy to be there for your win last Saturday night. Congratulations, Millington, in 15.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me tonight.
No problem, bud. Thank you so much. Ryan Millington, number 15 out of Statesville, North Carolina. And Dennis, again, a young kid. Cookie cutter equipment. And I mean that with no disrespect. Not the top dollar equipment. Have you seen these new 5-star late model bodies? Oh, my God, I love them. I love them. You know, I just fall in love going down pit road, and I'm just like, holy smokes, look at that car. It's so awesome, the new bodies these cars have. And then he's got just a regular, you know, early 2090s model, late model body, and he beat them.
Yeah, and here's the thing. But what that tells you is a couple of things. First of all, it tells you that you got a heck of a shoe in the seat driving that car, and you got a team that is working their butts off to get every last ounce of speed out of that car. But what it tells you about the Cars Tour, and I can't brag about this series enough, and I was a big doubter when this was first released and first came out,
right,
you know, back in the day. And I was wrong about this series and about what they had in mind. When you look at a guy like Ryan Millington, and this isn't taken away from his talent, because Ryan's a tremendous racer.
For sure,
but
for sure.
You go ahead and you beat the Giants in any series, and that shows me not only does the driver have a lot of talent, but the Cars Tour rule book is such that it's allowing people to come in and race part-time and have success. And that is the key to great auto racing. When you have a rule package and you treat everybody, whether they're a part-timer in your series or a full-timer, you treat them all with respect and with the same level of tech and the same level of everything when it comes to officiating races. That's why the Cars Tour made me eat my words, and I'm so glad I did, because we need more great promoters and great series like the Cars Tour.
And again, as I said when we started this segment with Ryan Millington, whether it's in motorsports or in life in general, everybody loves the underdog story, and that's exactly what we saw at Ace Speedway, or you saw on Cars Tour TV, or witnessed in person for what Ryan Millington did last Saturday night, for sure. So definitely. All right, we're going to take one more final break, and then we're going to wrap things up with a 5-minute segment with me and Dennis Michelsen. We're going to go back into the topic of what we started off with. Where does NASCAR go from here? They get ready for Auto Club Speedway. And fans are going to slowly but surely start to be welcomed back to the racetracks at Talladega, Homestead this weekend, and even at Pocono, where many people thought they weren't even going to race there at all in Pennsylvania. Dennis Michelsen and myself will wrap it up in this final segment after a quick timeout about, again, Unforgettables special Father's Day promotion for baseballs at a great price. Here is Trace for more details about it.
Hey, this is Trace Nye with CRN. Hey, I wanted to give you an update about Unforgettables.com. Again, that's Unforgettables.com. They are offering a special Father's Day weekend special. If you go to their website at Unforgettables.com, type in the code CRN20. Again, that's CRN20. With that code, you'll receive a 10% off your entire order. Again, CRN20. All you got to do is go to Unforgettables.com. They specialize in hand-painted baseballs and baseball gifts. So once again, head over to Unforgettables.com. For Father's Day, type in CRN20, and you'll receive 10% off your entire order. Again, that's Unforgettables.com.
Looking for a life insurance company that specializes in what you actually need? Protection. Call Danny today with Symmetry Financial. Danny is certified in all 50 states, which means Symmetry Financial is not limited and has over 30 companies to choose from. Symmetry Financial has proved time and time again that their options and pricing is just better than the rest. Give Danny a call today at 828-994-1681 to see how Symmetry Financial can make life simple.
Now back to live coverage on the CRN Sports Network.
Wesley Outland, Dennis Michelsen back here with you. CRN's Full Throttle, prime time tonight. Normally, our show is high noon on Thursday. But due to some other obligations and things we had going on, we were not able to do it. But hey, by the way, don't forget that all of our podcasts on CRN are available at crnsports.org, our official main site. And then, of course, you can also click in each show separate for all of the podcasts, or go to all of the podcast outlets across America: YouTube, iTunes, Tuned In, Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, CastBox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser. And if there's any others that we don't know that we're not on, let us know, and we'll add it. Dennis Michelsen just simply put in CRN Sports. We got you covered, I believe, when it comes to all the podcast affiliates.
Absolutely, and we need to talk about getting my Wildfire Fever podcast for the Chicago Wildfire added to the network someday, man.
That would be awesome.
Frisbee.
Now, is that basketball?
Sport.
Is that basketball?
No, Ultimate Frisbee. It's like Frisbee football. It is the craziest sport you're ever going to see. TheAUTL.com is where you can find out more about it. Okay. FS2 every Wednesday evening on FS2. There'll be ultimate games, and you can learn more about this craziest sport that I'm predicting is going to take these stick and ball sports world by storm one day.
Wow.
It is so much fun to watch.
So, do you do like do you do the play-by-play? Are you the play-by-play radio announcer for it?
I'm the play-by-play announcer, and they're referring to me as the Bob Uecker of Ultimate. And they don't mean the work he does with the Brewers. They mean my Harry Doyle imitation from the old movie Major League.
Oh,
but
yes.
Either way, we have fun with it.
Who cares? It's a rat with wings. I love that movie. I am a big fan of Bob Uecker and what he does. And, that's another underdog story. Here's the thing. He sucked as a baseball player. Let's be honest. He sucked as a baseball player. They put him in the broadcast booth, and he shined, and he was golden. And he made that movie Major League, in my opinion.
Well, he